Hi, a very warm welcome to Dusty Shelf. Well, I've managed to pick up one of these Sentinels from Hornby for a very reasonable price in their sale. And I thought to myself, well, what I'd like to do with this is actually change the colour of it. So, I'm going to have a go. Now, I could really mess this up. Hopefully it will go to plan, but we shall find out. Beautiful models, these. There will be a review on the channel of this loco. We've checked that out, but there's also a review of the other liveried one of these, but fantastic looking model. But as I say, I want to change the colour of it, so I don't know how this comes apart. I don't know how many pieces it's going to end up in, but let's give it a go. What can possibly go wrong? So first of all, I think what I'm going to do is start undoing a few screws, and actually I'll just have a quick look at the instruction sheet and just see if it gives any indication of how it's going to come apart. Okay, so the body does come away from the chassis. Well, that's probably a good start then. So a number of screws on the base. Move the 4 screws as shown in figure 4, okay. Then carefully turn them right way up and release the chassis down and away from the body. Right, so it's these 4 screws on the corner. So let me just get a small screwdriver. Let's move all this packaging out of the way. It will go back in the box, but obviously not today. Right, so there's 4 screws, one on each corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There it goes. Cool, there's not a lot to it, is there? That's a tiny little motor in there. Okay, I shall pop that to one side, and let's carry on having a look at the body. Right, I'm going to undo the screws and see how many components I can get this down to. I need a smaller screwdriver. Right, that's the hood. Now I could very, very easily completely mess this up. So I caveat this completely that this is not the best thing to do with a brand new loco. But I always like a challenge. Right, that's kind of caught on the front there. There it goes. Okay. And then these side pods. These appear to be glued in. Okay. Will they come out? That's the question. Right, that's that one free. That's that one free. That's that one free. And that one's free. Okay. Right, let's have a look at this body. I want to try and release the glass as well. Don't know whether that's bonded. I wouldn't have thought so. Right, the glass I'm not sure is going to come away, which will be a bit of a problem because that will put a stop to this project very, very quickly. Same with the wipers here. I'll just try and see if I can tease them. Oh yeah, okay, they should come free. So there's one wiper. Well, a little bit of brute force, a little bit of patience, and the glass has come away. Now I've broken one of the tabs off, but other than that, it's come away fairly cleanly. Now I don't want to disturb these wipers, so I'm going to mask those. I think if I try and pull those out, I'm actually going to break them. So one of them came away quite easily, it wasn't glued at all. The other two, or the other three, I'm not going to disturb. I'm going to mask the grille. Mask, because these remain white on the livery that I'm doing. These remain white. I shall mask this up. I think all of the other badges, apart from that little one down there, are going to go. So I'm going to rub back this printing just very gently with some wet and dry. And the same on the side here. So this, for the livery I'm doing, this will be black. The ends will remain chevroned. I won't touch the inside at all. And you know, this could be an absolute disaster, but you never know. It may look okay. Okay, I've got some 2000 grit wet and dry here, just to take the printing back a little. Just don't want it to show through, that's all. Being very careful of my Sentinel badge at the end here. Right, that's fine. That'll do. Right, let's me go and get my masking tape. So as well as the tape, I'm also going to use some of this, which is mask oil. Now, I used to use this years ago, and I didn't realise they still did it. And yeah, down at the local model shop at the weekend, I asked, and they had it in stock. This is just basically like a latex mask. So you put this on, let it dry, and then when you're done spraying, you literally peel it off. Simple as that. That's absolutely terrible. Let's start again. Well, rather frustratingly, I sat here last night spraying a little bit of paint here and there, and yeah, when I finished, I noticed that the camera wasn't rolling, so I need to catch you up to where I've got to. So on the side of the can here, I've just taped the side panels, and I've touched those in the blue colour that I'm using, which is, I'll come to the paints in a minute. I've also sprayed over the body in white, and I've sprayed one side of the chassis. Now the paint I'm using, what I've decided to do is I'm going to do this as a British Rail Sentinel. Now I found a picture, literally a picture on the internet of what I want to achieve, of a full-size one with the British Rail logo on there. So I've got BR Rail Blue on here, and the paint here is Rail Match Authentic Colour. Now, I've mentioned this a few times on the channel. It's an enamel spray. Buy it from a local model shop. It's about £7, £8 a can. But it's really, really good. The coverage on the models is absolutely fantastic. It gives such a fine coat. You get a really nice detail on the model, and yeah, so that's why I'm using that there. I've got BR Black for the side of the chassis here, and then also a white just for the roof here. These paints don't mix too well, so if you use like the Tamiya paint and this, they won't mix particularly well. So I think my experience with these is if you start using them on a model, you have to use all the colours, all from Rail Match. So the white I've got here is also Rail Match as well, the enamel. Now, all the masking is still on there, so what I'm going to do now is mask up the roof, which is the bit I want to remain white, mask up the other side of this, and then spray in the rest of this in blue. Now, sprayed the front here in white just to make sure that I get a colour match across the whole body. So by painting the whole body white, it means that obviously I wanted to paint the roof in white, so I wasn't going to mask that. So I've painted it all white, so now when I spray over in blue, hopefully I'll get the same colour match. So I'm going to go ahead, mask up the roof, mask up the side, and then hopefully this time round, once I've got the masking done, I'll film the bit with the spraying as well. Right, well that's all masked, so let's just give it a little dust over. Which I might let the, actually no, that's fine, let's dust this over. Well, there you go, that's all the blue paint on, so I'm going to leave that to set now, and I'll come back in a couple of hours and see what kind of finish I've got on the paintwork. Well, I just wanted to do that little bit about masking off camera, but it's actually gone pretty well. They're not bad. Quite pleased with the finish of the paint. Little bit of a blemish on the side there, but nothing too major. And I've managed to retain the Sentinel names on either side of the cab, so quite pleased with how they've come out. The sides are absolutely fine. The masking, where I masked off the little white railings, they're fine. I was just going to remove the tape from the front of this section. Let's do that. And yeah, have a look at the there's been any bleed through on the black and silver paint. That doesn't look too bad. A little area to touch in, and do that with a acrylic paint pen. Just put my glasses down a little bit, and I'm just going to touch in around the edge here. It was silver before, but I think better of it just to get rid of the rough edge there, like that. Okay, that's not too bad. And then the final bit on this piece is just the handrails, which I did cover in the masking paint. I forget what it's called now. I've got it here somewhere. Where was it? This stuff. Yeah, the maskall. That's it. Actually, look at that. Look how that's coming off. That's come out very nicely. Let's see if the other side's as good. Now, when I was asking for this in the model shop, in John Duckfield's, my local model shop, asking for this stuff, I didn't know what it was called, and they said that this is really good actually if you want to do sort of flaking off rust. So yeah, may give that a go in the future. And what a great idea. But yeah, we shall see. Anyway, right, so I think that's pretty much everything done. I'm quite pleased with the finish on these. I thought I'd masked another little piece, which was just the work plate, but I can't see where it was. Just making sure that I've got enough coverage on the black paint there. That looks good. That one looks okay as well. Actually, that could do with, both could do with just a tiny bit more. Okay, I'm just going to touch this painting rather than filming all of this, and then I'll come back when I've got the sides glued on. Right, well, I had to use some super glue there, and I've glued the sides back on. You can see they're all stuck down now. And yeah, while I had the glue out, I've just glued the glass back in. Gone back in fairly neatly. I've got a little bit of a fingerprint on that rear quarter glass, but otherwise not too bad at all. I think, to be fair, it will clean up, but let's get this reassembled. So that drops in there somehow. You just turn it around this way so I can see. There we go. That drops in there like that. And this component sits on the other end. And there's a couple of screws to go in. These tiny little sort of self-tappers here. And where did I put, oh, I'll tell you what I haven't done. Let me just take this back apart, because I haven't glued the front cab grille on, so I need to re-glue the metal grate back on there, like so. So I'll just get some more glue. I'm going to put the glue on the same places where it came from, just so that I know that it's not going to show through in this area. A moment to set. That'll do. Right, as I was, or as you were, they say, don't they? So that drops on there. That goes on that end, and then, as I say, these tiny little screws hold the whole thing together. Okay, that's all the body screws back in. And make a couple of little repairs as I've done these up to just glue the handles back on. Oh, that's looking pretty good. Right, ready to put the chassis back in, I think. On to the final step, which is to put some transfers on. So these transfers are from FMR Transfers. I've had them quite a while. On here we've got the British Rail logo and some numbers to add. So I'm going to cut a couple of these out and get them soaking, ready to go onto the loco. And do the logo first. too bad at all. It's gone on lovely. Now the numbers I'm putting on here are 10077, which is the picture that I found on the internet. But I do believe 10077 was actually an 040, not an 060. So yeah, slight discrepancy there, but a little bit of artistic license. And the other thing I should mention here is these decals, when they're dry, I will add a little bit of varnish over the top. I don't have any matte varnish for this type of paint at the moment. I need to get some, so I won't be doing that on camera, but I will endeavour to get some over the next couple of days. Get this finished off nicely. That'll do nicely. Well, I'm going to carry on and finish off with the last of the numbers, and yeah, come back and we'll close this video out. Well, actually, I don't think that's too bad. I mean, it's come out reasonably well. Quite surprised, actually. A little bit of frosting on the glass, which is a bit frustrating. It's the glue I used. Some of the vapours have sort of frosted the glass in the corners, which a little bit annoyed at myself because I should have used plastic glue rather than a little bit of super glue. But that's one of those things. But the whole premise of doing this video, what I wanted to sort of show is how good the models are that come from the manufacturers at the moment. I see a lot of videos online, and I've done it myself, you know, criticising the crispness of lines or the printing. And actually, when you go and try and paint one of these locos yourself, even if you do it as carefully as possible, it still looks like a hand painted loco. And I've been quite fortunate with this one because it's actually still looks like a hand-painted loco, but it's actually one of the better ones I've done. I did expect it to come out really badly and sort of prove the point that the manufacturers' locos are really, really good. But again, to reiterate the point I made in one of my other videos, yeah, we really are very fortunate at the moment with the model railway industry the way it is and the quality of the models that are coming out. Yes, we're paying a little bit more for them, but the beautiful detail on there and the beautiful printing and the fantastic painting and quality of the models is really shining through. And these Sentinels from Hornby, I love them. I think they're fantastic locos. And as I say, I've managed to pick up a couple of these at a very, very reasonable price. So reasonable that it gave me the confidence to have a go at repainting one of them. And yeah, pleased it came out okay. Let's say it came out okay. Anyway, if that was of interest, please do give it a like, and why not check out the channel? Lots on there, and if you can subscribe, I'll be awfully grateful. And with that, I'll wrap it up just by saying thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.